This is the Tracy Rummy Cube game. It's a popular family game that resembles the card game Rummy, but instead of cards, you use tiles. And while it's a really great product, it's getting far less sales than the leading brand, and the reason why is because the listing sucks.
So today, we're going to revamp the listing for this Rummy Cube game. Now, we're not actually going to edit the real listing. Instead, we're gonna be showing you what we would do differently if this was one of our products. But before we begin, Lenny, I have to ask, have you ever played Rummy before?
No, I have not. I am a board game fan, but this is not one of the games I've played. What about you?
I played it, but I played the card version about 15 years ago, so I had to learn Rummy Cube, which is this game here.
Well, great. Let's first kick things off by tearing down the current listing.
Let's do it.
Now taking a look at it, we can see here that the title and bullet points actually aren't that bad. But once we do a bit of keyword research, I'm positive that we're gonna be able to uncover a whole bunch of new keywords that are just missing from this listing.
For sure.
So I think the first thing that we need to do is to improve the copy. That way we can help this product show up more often in the search results. And today we'll be using the listing optimization checklist to make sure that we're covering all of our bases. And if you'd like to pick up your own copy, you can download it for free with the link in the pinned comment down below.
All right, now if we take a scroll down to the product description, and yeah, I mean, this section is looking pretty weak here.
Yeah.
There's really just like not enough text, obviously. I think the bigger missed opportunity is that there's no A+ content. So that's something we're gonna have to create from complete scratch, which will take some time to do, but I think adding this A+ content will go a long way in improving this listing's conversion rate.
Agreed.
And speaking of conversion rate, let's take a scroll back up here and see what's going on with the images. Okay, yeah, there's two images here, and neither of them are using lifestyle photography to really show the intended audience using this product. So obviously, Lenny, we desperately need to improve these images.
Yeah.
Now, if this was one of our products, we'd probably hire a professional to take care of all of the photography for us. But today, we're going to do it all ourselves just to show you that it is possible to do your own product photography.
And now here's the fun part. Regardless of your own design experience, anyone can do what we're gonna be doing today. We're both going to edit an equal amount of images, but only one of us actually knows how to use Photoshop, which means the other person will be using Canva. Okay, now one more thing. Because the listing doesn't have one, we're also gonna film a product video. Videos are extremely important for conversion, so we're gonna have some fun with this and record something that would work both on this listing, but also in an advertising campaign. It's always a good idea to create something that can be used in both places.
And now that we know everything that needs to be done, let's start from the top by stripping down this entire listing and completely rewriting it. But before we can do that, our first challenge will be finding those top keywords that are currently missing from this listing. And to do that, we can just run a reverse ASIN search to show us all the keywords that this product is currently ranking for on Amazon. All right, so here's the product here, and we can see it's ranking, Lenny, for like 133 keywords, which
it's not too bad.
Not bad, but I'm curious how many of those are high volume. So what we can do is we can head over to this filter, the exact match filter, and I'm just gonna add in 500, and what that's gonna do is show us all the keywords that are being typed in on Amazon at least 500 times per month. And now we can see, okay, only 25 keywords are showing up.
That's a lot less. We're gonna need some more keywords.
Yes, so to do that, what we can do is head back over to Amazon, type in our main search term, and then pull up our top competitors. We'll then copy those ASINs and then paste them right back into Keyword Scout. And just a quick pro tip, you can save this search for future use. That way you don't always have to come back and copy and paste these ASINs back into Keyword Scout. Okay, now here are all of the competitors that we're looking at, and we can see below that how many keywords we're now showing up for, which is just over 1,200, so
wow,
a lot more. Now, just like we did, I'm curious to see how many of these are high volume, so I'll add that 500 minimum qualifier in there.
Gotta be more than 25.
Let's
Come
see.
on.
Yep, 326 keywords are showing up.
Oh, nice.
So that's really good. Now, Lenny, we have our high volume keywords, but one thing that's really important on Amazon is to make sure that you're using highly relevant keywords as well.
Yes.
And so what we can do here is we can kind of just like real quick look at this table and see if there's anything that we want to get rid of. One thing I'm seeing right away is the word tile. And interestingly enough, it's under the electronics category where everything else is toys and games for the most part. So one thing we can do to kind of get rid of more of those keywords is come up here to the product category filter and only search for toys toys and games.
Anything in any other category is just clearly going to be completely wrong.
Now, another filter that we've typically used to get rid of irrelevant keywords is this organic ASINs count. And so what we've typically done is put 2 as the minimum. And so what that will do is only show you keywords where at least 2 competitors are ranking for it. Now, typically you'll find on Amazon that if there's a keyword that multiple competitors are ranking for, then you should be including that in your listing. So that's why we've historically used 2 here. But I'm not going to use it only because I scrolled down here, Lenny, and I noticed there's a lot of relevant keywords that only one competitor is ranking for, like board games for adults, travel games. These are keywords that it sounds like it's going to be hard for us to rank, but they're good to still keep track of and potentially include in our listing.
Right, so it looks like only one of these competitors is ranking for those, probably for the reason that you said that these are competitive keywords, but since they're relevant, we should still keep them, right?
Exactly. And so now, because we're not using that, I think what I would do first is select all these keywords and then really go through and manually uncheck the irrelevant keywords. A good one here would just be games. We don't need games. It's too broad, I think. Let's see, if we scroll down here, Scrabble. So Scrabble's a completely different game. Mancala's a completely different game. So these are irrelevant keywords. The second type of keywords we want to exclude are any brand names. So Rummy Cube, it actually is a brand name. And the way it's spelled here, Rummy Cube, we cannot use that in our listing. So we want to go through and get rid of all the Rummy Cube mentions here. Lenny, what's really interesting here is we scroll down here, the word Rummy Cube spelled this way actually has a lot of monthly searches for. So it is a keyword that we can technically use because it's not the branded term that the actual brand uses. So that's actually a good one that we'll probably end up using throughout our listing.
So Jake, what do you think about this Spanish keyword?
Yeah, so I had to look this up, but basically when you do a Google Translate on it, it translates into table games. Now it's a keyword that we really wouldn't want to include in our listing because we're selling in the United States marketplace, but it's a good candidate for the back-end search term. So because of that, I think it's a good keyword just to keep here in our keyword list. Now, another example of irrelevant keywords, Lenny, is card games for adults. Obviously, this is not a card game, it's a tile game, so we wouldn't want to add that anywhere in our listing.
Okay, great. Well, let's go through and get rid of all the irrelevant keywords. Okay, great. So we have our keyword list. Now, the next challenge that we face is figuring out how to weave as many of these top keywords into our listing. So to start this process, we're going to be using Jungle Scout's Listing Builder. All right, so inside of Listing Builder, we'll go create new listing. We're going to start with an ASIN and paste in our ASIN here. We can come over, select the keyword list that we just created, Rummy Game. Next step. All right, so to kick things off, we can see that we're currently a 3 out of 10 for the listing optimization. Where's the first place we should start, Jake?
Yeah, the most impactful place is always the title. So let's start there and see what they already have.
So if we look at the keywords, looks like we've got a total of 6 keywords here.
Not bad. They're only using about, 85 characters. And we know we need to get to at least 160 here in order to get that green check mark we're looking for. So let's go through this keyword bank here, which we can see our highest volume keywords in green, and see if there's anything else that we can add over that would be more impactful. Now, one thing we gotta keep Tracy, that's the name of the brand, and it is a mini travel rummy set, so that is accurate, but what I would like to see here is us somehow using this keyword phrase here, board games for adults, somewhere in here.
So do we just wanna start with that and then add on?
Yes, I would just add for adults right there, and that should get us that keyword.
Okay, so let's go for adults. Okay, we've got that keyword there. Okay, this is a good starting point. I'm seeing a lot of different keywords that we could use. Travel games, good for 2 people, family game night.
Portable even.
Classic board games. Weaving them together can be kind of tricky, which is a great reason to utilize AI. So let's just see what happens when we try out AI Assist and we can tweak it from there.
Ah, cool.
So it keeps what we've already got, which is great, but then it adds on retro mahjong set with case and accessories, table games for family night. What do you think? We re-roll or keep this?
It's interesting because it isn't is it mahjong? Is that
mahjong?
Mahjong?
I don't know. I say mahjong.
Okay, I know it's not a mahjong set, but it does take inspiration from that game. So while this is somewhat inaccurate, it's not that bad. I would say maybe roll the dice here.
Okay, so looking at this here, most of this looks pretty good. It did bring in our Spanish friend here, but I think other than that, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I actually like how it added case. So one of the really cool parts about this product is it comes in a very portable wooden case. And we actually saw in the product reviews, people talk about that. So I think if we replace it, we could definitely use this.
So let's replace that. For the title, we'll definitely take out that. I wonder, is there something we could put in here instead? So
well, we saw over in the keyword bank that, it's for 2 players, but actually this game is for 2 to 4 players. So we can make that very clear here. And maybe we say something like 2 to 4 player. We should probably just add that in somewhere here. So for family night's good. School accessories, maybe we get rid of accessories, maybe even school. I'm curious where that came from.
Yeah.
But maybe we can just add in 2 to 4 players, and then we'll have to word shop that a little bit, but let's see if there's anything else we can add here. Okay. Oh, portable. I think that's something that we should just add right here. Portable case, cool. We get that green high volume underscore there.
Great.
Now, domino, it's a domino tile, but we probably don't want to include that. This is where you got to use your own intuition. Domino might be throwing off some customers, so I don't want to add that there.
So what else we got here? We've got classic board games. We've already got board games in here, so let's find a spot for classic. Maybe it's in here. Is it retro classic?
Retro classic or classic retro, either way, classic, I think works.
So classic retro table game set, 2 to 4 players. Oh, we need to fix this. So maybe it's perfect for family night and school. I think if I remember right, school came from old school, and we've already got the word retro, so I don't think we need that. So let's just chop that off. All right, so we're about 20 characters away from hitting our target here. So we just need a few more keywords or a couple of phrases.
We probably should have done this earlier, Lenny, but maybe let's actually add in the keyword wooden. Now, it doesn't have any search volume, but this is a wooden portable case. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that makes it sound like more premium and sounds like a wooden case sounds durable and sturdy.
Yeah, for sure. And then, we saw this actually in our keyword list, but this is not just an adult game. It's actually for kids and seniors. There's a lot of different kid-related and even senior-related keywords. Elderly ones. So let's tell Amazon that this is for them. So we can go for family night, kids, and seniors, just to make it more inclusive for the Amazon algorithm. Cool, yeah, and that gets us up to 165 characters, which is, I think, perfectly readable. Now, after we got the green check mark for the title, we then moved on to the bullet points. Here, just like our title, we used AI Assist to lay the foundation, but then we went back and made minor edits throughout, mostly just adding in keywords, but also making sure we're not repeating any keywords that are already in the title. Once we got the green check mark we were looking for, we then moved on to the product description. Except remember, we're turning this section into A+ content, which means we needed to go out and take some images. But before we took out the camera, we first had to figure out what types of images we needed. For this, we used our competitors for inspiration. After analyzing their listings, we saved all the images that we thought stood out and then added them to an inspiration board where we wrote down some of the notes of the things that we wanted to do for our listing. And now that we had some visual inspiration, there was still one more task we needed to tick off before going out and shooting our images. And that's discovering what the most important features are that our customers care about. Because once we know what's important to them, we'll know exactly what type of things we should be calling attention to in our images. So to do this, you can open up one of your top competitors and read through the reviews. Now, to see if there are any common positive trends, you can open up all the 5 and 4-star reviews. And to see if there are any negative trends, you can open up all the 3, 2, and 1-star reviews. But honestly, rather than reading through all of this manually, you can do it much faster with the help of AI, just like we did.
Okay, Jake, to start, we're here in review analysis. Gonna paste in our ASIN here and see what results we get.
All right,
let's scroll down to the juicy parts here. Let's take a look at the top positive and negative comments. All right, positive comments about the quality and craftsmanship. Lots of people appreciate the well-made wooden box. That's great. We already called that out in the title.
Yeah.
They find it sturdy and durable. Okay, so there's definitely a theme here. We could definitely be calling out the craftsmanship, that it's sturdy and durable in our images. As we move on, perfect for traveling, compact size. I definitely think we should be calling that out as well, because this one is specifically a travel set.
Yeah, and it looks like we got our first idea of how to do that. So this next line of it's easy to carry and play anywhere. So that's actually—
Oh, I like that phrase, easy to carry and play.
Right, I can just visualize the image for that. So that's a good idea there.
Coming down to the negatives here, looks like people are talking about issues with the tiles and the holders, the tiles not being the same thickness, not fitting properly in the holders or slots. Now, we don't want to call attention to these, but we're going to be addressing that in the sort of craftsmanship and the sturdiness and durability, would you say?
Yeah, it looks like the main negative comment here is just that it's not durable. And like you said, we'll cover that already.
Okay, great. Those are some good points. I think we've got everything we need now to go out and take some photos, take some video. What do you think?
Let's do it. Cue the montage.
To help us test this product, we asked Eva from the marketing team to join us. We started this episode with a very poor listing that lacked keywords, images, and A+ content. We went away, worked on the listing, and now we're excited to present the fully revamped listing for the Tracy Rummy Cube game. Now with improved copy, new images, A+ content, and even a product video. All right, Jake, let's break down exactly how we got to this listing.
Let's do it. And let's start right here at the top with the title and bullet points. So we actually went from 11 keywords in the old listing to now 56 keywords in both the title and bullet points. So that's a huge improvement right there.
Definitely.
And as you can see here in the bullet points, I mean, we really focused on benefits instead of features. The old listing was talking about the features and really thinking that that's what customers really care about, but that's actually the benefits. And so you can see here in a few of these, we really answered some important questions like how durable this product is, who it's for, and what all comes in this set. We really called that out here. And now scrolling down to the A+ content here, we basically just repurposed the images we took for our product and also included a lot of keywords. So we didn't just use images. And now in total, including our title, bullet points, and description, we went from only using 15% of our keywords to now using 89% of our keywords. So that's a huge improvement right away. And really the last thing we did in terms of keywords is we used more back-end search terms. And really how we chose which keywords to include is we went to our lowest volume keywords in our keyword bank and then added those in to our back-end search terms. So all the irrelevant keywords that didn't really make its way into the listing, we added to the back end. And so that gave us our green check mark.
Now, the other really important element, of course, was our images. So let's dive into what we took here. Starting with the main image against a white backdrop. This one that we took is, of course, it does look similar to some of our competitors, but we made a few key differences here. One thing that we really wanted to do was to make sure that the colorful tiles were front and center. There are a lot of black tiles, but we wanted a splash of color in this image to try to make it stand out on the search results page. So we put a lot of colorful tiles at the front. We also boosted the overall vibrance and saturation of the photo to, again, enhance those colors just a little bit. We played with the height and the angle of the photos a little bit here. You can see a couple of the options that we were choosing between, but we went with this slightly lower angle, which I think kind of makes the set look a little bit more powerful. We also played around with how we staged these wooden racks just to kind of fill out the image and just make it look aesthetically pleasing. And I think this one turned out pretty well. So coming down to our second image here, the feature that we wanted to call out is that 2 to 4 people can play this game. But the real benefit is that it's a classic family game. You know, what you want to always achieve with lifestyle photography or any of these images, ideally, is to create an emotional response, get people to see themselves using this game. Now, for a lot of people, maybe even you included, playing board games with the family is often something nostalgic. I know I can think back to my childhood and think of different games that I've played with my family. I imagine maybe you've had similar experiences, but hopefully, you know, when people see this, they can picture themselves playing it with their family, with their kids, or maybe even with their parents. And so in order to take this photo, we got Eva's help to come in. We wanted to show more than just Jake and I and show a whole bunch of people playing this game and having a lot of fun. Coming down to our third image here, we really just wanted to call out everything that's included with this set so there was no questions around what you get or not, and to, you know, remove any friction points that might stop people from buying because they've got questions. So here we just literally called out everything that is included inside of the set. We even called out the tiles per color and the fact that there's 2 jokers included, as we discovered that not all sets have this. So we wanted to make sure we provided those details as well for anyone that was wondering.
Awesome. And now coming to image number 4, the main feature here could have been that we have a portable case that comes with a product, but again, we're trying to highlight benefits over features. So the benefit here is that you can carry and play with this set anywhere. So that's what we did here, just a simple lifestyle shot to highlight that. Now moving down to image 5, as we saw with our findings from review analysis, a lot of customers just weren't happy with the products currently on the market because of the durability of them. And luckily this comes with a sturdy wooden walnut case. So that's what we wanted to call out here. And we just kind of wordsmithed it a little bit to really call out the craftsmanship and the high quality of this product. So if a customer had trouble in the past with a product that wasn't durable and they came across our listing, hopefully they would feel a little bit better about buying from us. Okay, now coming down to image 6, this is a fun one because Eva's actually playing a younger version of herself. And the main call out here is that this game actually reinforces STEM skills for kids, and specifically pattern recognition, sequencing, and planning. We actually found this out by doing a quick Google search on this game, and I stumbled across this article that literally just said exactly what we put in the image. And I thought that was really cool because as a parent buying this game, you might just think it's a fun family game that you can play with your whole family, but it's actually something that you can buy for your kid, and you are investing in their education by doing so. And just by playing the game ourselves, like, it is a challenging game. I remember playing it growing up, and it's truly a strategy-packed game. And I remember being kind of like tired after the fact. So this definitely is a game that helps these kids with STEM skill building.
And I think this is a really cool point to call out that Jake found this information on another website. So for anyone out there that's maybe private labeling a product that they're maybe not super familiar with, we often talk about getting a lot of our information from listings that are already on Amazon. And generally you can get a lot of information from Amazon and other listings. However, it is always worthwhile doing more research into the type of product that you're selling on other websites from other sources, because you never know when you'll find little gems of information like this that could be really relevant for either marketing or improving your listing or even improving the actual product. So highly recommend doing research on any product you're looking to sell. Now on the flip side, with this next image here, we did actually find a lot of keyword searches on Amazon. So keyword searches related to improving adult memory or adult memory games, senior adult memory games, and all of those related type things. So we wanted to call out a different demographic for this particular image. So while we had Eva finding her inner child, we had Jake here teleporting into the future and playing an older version of himself. So
I don't look that bad, honestly.
I think you look pretty good for your age there. I'd agree.
I'll take it.
Now we had a little bit of fun in Photoshop with these images, trying to make Eva look a little bit younger and Jake a little bit older. Specifically, I was playing around with Photoshop's neural filters where you can de-age or age people, change their hair, that type of thing. And then also using Photoshop's generative fill as well to get this effect. Onto our next image here, the feature is that the tiles have these little grooves that make them easy to pick up. So again, we are making sure to call out the benefit here of them being easy to pick up. And now onto our final image here, we just wanted to avoid any confusion or returns by calling out the fact that these aren't your regular standard size tiles, but this is a travel size that's actually smaller. So we wanted to show the actual dimensions of the travel tile and actually show a comparison of it next to a regular tile. So again, there's complete clarity around what they're getting, and call out the benefit at the top here that it is a smaller travel size, so it's great for on the go.
Now, hopefully you agree that we're leaving this listing in a far better place than where we originally found it. But remember, we're not done yet. We went out and filmed an entire product video that we think would go a really long way in increasing this listing's conversion rate. But first, if you want to optimize your listings like a pro, then make sure to get your own copy of this listing optimization checklist, which you can download for free with the link in the pinned comment down below. Okay, now the moment you all been waiting for. Here's the video we created for this product.
Now, while Jake found gosh, what did you find? The tiles actually have these little tile holes. I don't know what's funny about holes. Oh, I don't like fingers and thumbs and...
Slippery finger thumb hole.